good afternoon. I am Andrea Ivory, founder and executive director of the Florida Breast Health Initiative.
Okay. Can you tell me your story? You are a survivor.
Yes.
Can you tell me how early was it detected? Did you know about the detection before?
In 2004, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and one of my doctors told me that I was truly the poster child for the benefit of early detection. I had always known about the early detection guidelines because early on, as early as 14 years old, I had my first abnormality and I had it removed. So as I got older and I visited the doctor regularly, I got closer to 35, they asked me to begin doing annual screenings. So I started doing my annual screenings at 35, and I had very fibrocystic breasts. They were lumpy and bumpy, so I certainly didn't know what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2004, I was asked to come back after my initial diagnostic mammogram. And subsequently, there were several screenings, and I received the breast cancer diagnosis.
Okay. You said you found an abnormality at 14. So with women who have daughters, I mean, we sort of teach them, well, when you get 25, you want to start. When you get 30, you want to start, for those of us who say anything at all. At 14, like, how did you know that there would, because at 14, you don't know what's going on except stuff is popping up.
If I can tell you that at the age of 14, that's the time that I remember distinctly breast cancer being talked about. I think at that particular time, I don't want to give away my age. I don't want to tell you how old I am. But during that time, that's when women were pretty much coming out of the closet with breast cancer. I think Minnie Riperton and I later on Gilda Radner. So I knew, and everybody was telling you, you should really check your breasts. And of course, I was 14 and I didn't really think it applied to me, but I did it anyway. And lo and behold, I found something. So at the age of 14, I remember going to the doctor in his office and him just extracting it. We'll just call him. It was in his office, and he removed the fibroid, and it was benign. So I always, from that point on, I was told, you really need to take a close look at your breasts. So
Wow.
at 14.
Wow. Do you have a lot of young girls that come to you?
Women generally don't come to us. They come through referrals, but this is a door-to-door outreach. So we target neighborhoods with median incomes between $35,000 to $45,000, and we try to reach all women. And as you very well know, there's a paradigm shift. Women are now being targeted earlier for early detection, so we reach them all as we go door to door.
Okay. Okay, so if we can go back, so after you received your diagnosis, how did that turn into you? Like, did you apply for grants? Did you just have to get the word out?
Well, it goes back a little further. Prior to the breast cancer diagnosis, I was on this quest for my purpose in life. And I read a lot of books. Secrets of the Vine, Moments with the Savior, The Purpose-Driven Life. I knew that I was here for a reason, so I was on that quest. So when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, it became clear to me that this was for a purpose, so I never really asked why me. Instead, I asked what for. And, I knew that this sickness was not unto death. And so therefore, I knew it was for a purpose. So immediately after being diagnosed and treated, and after all the treatment, the surgeries, I wanted to make a difference. I knew I wanted to take this and make a difference. So I began doing various things. I participated in a research study. I then ran my very first race for the cure in 2005, exactly 1 year to the date of my surgery. And then at the end of 2005, October of 2005, the vision came. I knew I had to make a difference. I knew I was so blessed because I had health insurance and because I had that awareness. And I began to think about those women who weren't as blessed as I was, who didn't have health insurance, or who didn't have access, or who even lacked awareness. And I truly wanted to make a difference in their lives. And through that came, I don't want to call it an epiphany, but I can't tell you it was XYZ. I read a book and figured out how to do this. The vision became clear, and in obedience, I began the Florida Breast Health Initiative.
Okay. So in the early days, what was it like? Did you get grants right away? Was it just you knocking on doors?
There were no grants right away.
Okay.
There was a vision right away.
Okay.
And the first person that I told about my vision was my husband. And I told him what I planned, and I told several other people. And what we did, my husband and I, we funded the organization initially. Mm-hmm. And in 2006, we hit the streets. We targeted our neighborhood, we did our mapping, and we visited our first 100 homes the first week in April. And it was easy to get volunteers, you know, because we called on our friends.
Okay.
And our friend had called on a few of their friends, and they all knew that I had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and they too wanted to make a difference. So the first outreach was easy. We just got 10 teams of 3 people. It was easy to rile up 30 people and go hit the neighborhood. And we said, you know, this is wonderful. And we had made a connection with Memorial Hospital. And Memorial Hospital was more than willing to participate by bringing in the mobile mammography van. So we said, you know what, we have to do more. This can't be it. And we started in Miami Gardens. Mm-hmm. And so we completed most of Miami Gardens in the first year in 2006. Well, not most stuff, but 1,800 homes in our very first year of outreach. And so we started then. And then in 2007, which was our second outreach year, we targeted 5,035 homes. And we wanted not only to serve Miami Gardens, but we moved to Hialeah. We started our first outreach in Hialeah. And then we went in 2008 to the Haitian community in North Miami, and still serving all of those neighborhoods, because remember, all women are at risk for breast cancer. And we don't look at their color, we don't look at their culture, we don't look at their religion. We just look for women, because we want to make sure that all women, regardless of their ability to pay, have a right to benefit from the early detection of breast cancer.
Okay. Now, do you specifically focus on Miami, or have you gone, the Miami area, or is it Dade, like will you go further south, or?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because the vision is not a small vision. The vision is actually to make this a national organization.
Okay.
But what we have done in making strides towards that goal is in April, we crossed the border. So we went over the border, we crossed into Broward, and we did our very, very, very first outreach in Broward County, in the city of West Park.
Okay.
And then this fall, we will venture down south, and we will be going door to door in South Miami. So we're going down south. So we have a lot of ground to cover, a wonderful army of volunteers that help us do our work. And we do intend to go door to door in every urban city that needs us.
Okay. How can a person get in touch with your organization?
We are available on the web at www.flbreasthealth.com, or they can call us toll free at 1-866-315-7711.
Okay.